For Oprah, the transformation didn't begin with a scale or a mirror. It began with pain. Just 4 years ago, something as ordinary as walking down a couple of steps felt overwhelming. Her knees hurt constantly, rubbing against each other with every movement. The discomfort wasn't just physical, it was emotional. It was the kind of pain that quietly limits your life, making you think twice before doing the simplest things. That was the moment she realized she couldn't keep living this way. That realization led her to knee surgery, a necessary step, but only the beginning of a much larger journey. What followed was not an overnight miracle, but a slow, honest, and sometimes frustrating process of understanding her body in a way she never truly had before. For decades, Oprah had tried nearly everything when it came to weight loss: diets, discipline, starvation, extreme control, temporary success followed by inevitable disappointment. The cycle was exhausting and deeply discouraging. She remembers one of her most painful experiences vividly: starving herself for nearly 5 months, watching the weight drop rapidly, only to see it return almost immediately. The very next day after stopping, the scale began creeping up again. It felt cruel, it felt unfair, and it left her wondering what she was doing wrong. The truth, she later realized, was that she wasn't doing anything wrong at all. About 2.5 years ago, she began a new chapter, one that required vulnerability, honesty, and letting go of shame. She started medical support designed to help regulate the body's signals around hunger and fullness. At first, she was cautious. Like many people, she avoided talking about it publicly. There was fear of judgment, misunderstanding, and criticism. But as time passed, something became clear. This wasn't about shortcuts. It was about understanding biology. As she approached her early 70s, Oprah reached a weight she once thought she could never maintain. She went from 211 pounds to her personal goal, one she had chased for years without lasting success. Yet the number on the scale turned out to be only a small part of the story. The real surprise came in an unexpected place. Alcohol quietly disappeared from her life. There was no dramatic decision, no rule-making, no struggle. The desire simply faded. She had once been able to drink more than anyone else at the table, easily keeping up socially. Now, alcohol no longer called to her at all. She didn't miss it, she didn't crave it. And that absence shocked her. For the first time, she experienced what it felt like for a habit to lose its power completely. This shift made her realize something profound. The changes weren't happening because she suddenly became stronger. They were happening because her brain was no longer sending constant signals that pushed her toward overconsumption, whether food or drink. In early 2024, she decided to stop the medication temporarily. She wanted to see what would happen on her own. Over the next year, she gained around 20 pounds back, not suddenly, but steadily. That experience answered a question she had wrestled with for years. This wasn't about discipline. This wasn't about willpower. This wasn't about failure. It was about how her brain and body communicated. So, she made a clear, empowered decision to begin again, this time without shame. She accepted that managing her health might be a lifelong process, just like managing blood pressure or cholesterol. And for the first time, that idea didn't feel heavy. It felt honest. By speaking openly, she opened a door for others to do the same. One by one, public figures began sharing their own journeys: significant weight loss, improved health, and a renewed sense of control over their lives. Many described the experience not as a cosmetic change, but as a mental and emotional shift that finally made sense of years of struggle. Oprah emphasizes that these tools don't do the work for you. They support you while you do the work. She stays active nearly every day, dedicating up to 2 hours to hiking, cardio, or resistance training. Movement has become part of her lifestyle, not a punishment. Hydration is essential, and she believes strongly in starting slowly and listening to your body. But her most powerful message isn't about exercise or medication. It's about compassion. She wants people to understand that for many, weight struggles are rooted in the brain, not in weakness or lack of effort. When you recognize that, the blame begins to lift. And once the blame is gone, real healing can begin. For Oprah, this journey wasn't just about losing weight or quitting alcohol. It was about reclaiming her life from cycles of guilt and frustration. It was about learning that asking for help isn't failure, it's wisdom. And today, when she looks at herself, she doesn't just see a lighter body. She sees freedom.
For full video, click related link below or like and subscribe this channel.